every day at 7 a.m. to get up to work instead of staying in bed.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Diaries channel. Nothing could have truly prepared ARMY for what happened today, November 22nd, 2025. What started out as a quiet day, filled with predictions and speculation, suddenly turned into one of the most historic moments in the fandom when Jungkook suddenly appeared on Weverse Live. There was no teaser, no announcement, no advance warning, just a bright red notification that left millions of ARMY stunned, hearts racing, and hands reaching for their phones. Here he was, Jungkook, returning in the most thrilling way possible. From the first second, the atmosphere of the live broadcast felt different. He entered so simply, wearing a beige jacket that slightly covered his messy hair, but instead made him look more natural, even more like himself. The camera captured his slightly tired face, but his eyes remained bright, as if he had so much to share. ARMYs immediately flooded the comments section, and for a moment, Jungkook just sat there reading, his lips curling into a small smile that instantly shook the world. "It's been a while, hasn't it?" he said quietly, but enough to melt millions of hearts. "I missed you." His words were simple, but they came out so honestly. There was no need for drama, just Jungkook speaking his mind. And from that first sentence, ARMY knew this live broadcast would be deeper, more personal, and more emotional than ever before. He began to talk about his day, about how he felt like he was growing up in ways that might not always be comfortable. He chuckled at the humorous comments from ARMY, but beneath the laughter, there was something else, an honesty he didn't always show. Jungkook wasn't just playing an idol today. He was a human being carrying burdens, feelings, and longings. As the live broadcast entered its final minutes, the atmosphere shifted. Jungkook hesitated for a moment, as if choosing the right words. He looked down, fiddling with the hem of his hoodie, and then took a deep breath. "I want to be honest," he finally said. "There are some things I've been holding back for a long time." The sentence made the entire fandom stop breathing. He continued slowly, choosing each word carefully. He admitted that he had been feeling pressured by the rumors, comments, and speculation that had been swirling around him lately. He didn't elaborate the details, but the way he spoke, the way he looked at the camera, the way he enunciated each sentence, all felt like a heartfelt confession from someone who had been silent for too long. "I want you to know," he said again, "that I'm okay, but I'm not always strong. I'm human." The ARMY watching from home felt a mix of emotions: pride, emotion, a desire to protect, and a desire to hug him. Jungkook spoke not as a superstar who always looked perfect, but as a young man struggling to make sense of the ever-changing world around him. But the confession didn't stop there. As if the energy of the live broadcast had galvanized him, Jungkook began to open up about how valuable ARMY are in his life. He confessed that in difficult times, only one thing always kept him going: messages from fans, the unconditional love he received, and the feeling that there were millions of fans there. People who were always waiting for him to return. "Sometimes I'm scared," he said, "afraid of disappointing you. But every time I remember how you're always there, I feel stronger." The comments section was filled with phrases like, "We love you," "You're enough," and "We're always here." Jungkook read some of the comments aloud, and his voice trembled as he replied, "I love you too." And this is the part that made ARMYs tremble the most. Jungkook began talking about the relationships between the members, about how they support each other despite their different paths and schedules. He expressed his longing for the members, especially for someone whose name he didn't mention, but whose way of speaking gave subtle hints that made fans immediately associate it with someone very close to him. When he said, "I miss someone who always makes me feel comfortable," ARMY erupted. The tone of his voice, his faint smile, the sudden tenderness in his eyes all felt all too familiar. It was as if only those who had followed every second of Jungkook's emotional journey over the years could fully grasp its meaning. This live broadcast, with all its emotional nuances, seemed to reinforce something that had been overlooked amidst rumors, speculation, and fan theories. "You probably already know," he said with a shy smile. "I don't need to tell you who." And with that, Jungkook drove ARMY even crazier. He didn't say any names, but he didn't need to. The tone, expression, and warmth in his voice were enough of a veiled confession to send the fandom into a frenzy. The live stream continued with laughter, lighthearted stories, and hilarious moments as he mimicked some of the fans' comments. But there was one thing different today. Jungkook was more honest, more open, and bolder. Every sentence felt like another confession, one he didn't explicitly say but one everyone felt. At the end of the live stream, Jungkook seemed to stare at the camera longer than usual, as if he wanted to make sure every word he said truly reached ARMY's hearts. "I'll keep trying," he said quietly. "For you guys, for myself, for the people I love. Thank you for waiting." It was a sentence that brought many ARMY to tears. He wasn't just giving a general thank you. He was sharing his gratitude for three things: the fandom, himself, and someone he loves. And the way he referred to the people I love made many hearts skip a beat. When the live ended, the screen went black, but the feelings he left behind didn't disappear. ARMY were still in an emotional state, still trying to process what they had just witnessed. Jungkook's confession today wasn't about a scandal, wasn't about rumors, wasn't about clearing things up. It was about opening up. It was about the courage of a man living in the spotlight to finally say what he felt. This day was history. The day Jungkook showed his most vulnerable yet strongest side. The day ARMY was reminded that the love between idols and fans is something that can't be measured by numbers or achievements. And the day a small confession from Jungkook shook the entire fandom. Today's live will be talked about for a long time. No ARMY will ever forget it. And as always, Jungkook managed to make the world fall in love all over again in the simplest yet most honest way. Thank you for watching until the end. ARMY, as always, our hearts flutter, smile, and sometimes even cry every time Jungkook or Jimin appears with moments of complete honesty like today. If you feel the same way, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the latest updates about Jikook and the always surprising world of BTS. Let me know in the comments what your favorite part of today's live was. I read them all. And as always, your opinions are the most exciting part of our community. See you again in the next video, where we'll continue to discuss every little detail, every look, every gesture, and every sweet thing that makes their relationship even more special. Thank you, ARMY. Stay safe, stay happy, and remember, Jikook always finds a way.